you pay the restaurant.
Okay, on average it'll be $5. That's just very inexpensive
And
when you
yes.
figure even $8 for a whole meal for everybody.
Right. So they have terrific things. They have breakfast items, lunch items, dinner items, and it's a really wonderful program.
Sounds like a great program. And Marianne, I congratulate you for doing this.
Well,
seniors are so stuck right now with the problems with money. You see in the paper, there are just lists, lines and lines of seniors who are selling their homes.
Yes.
Tax sales and mortgage sales. I know 2 seniors who've lost their homes who are just living in little dinky apartments now. And of course, the next step is your children's basement. And finally, cat food.
We're seeing more, no, hope never that,
Well,
but we're seeing more and more people, you know, living with their children.
Yeah.
That's not unusual. And
that's because even the government admits that they've given us these phony figures for the cost of living increase, and we've lost since, I believe it's 2002 to 2009, we've lost 50% of our purchasing power with our Social Security. And they say, well, you still have your pension. Yeah, but the pensions go along with the federal phony figures.
Well,
they don't. I get
if you
1%.
have a pension.
Yeah, if you're lucky to have a pension.
We have many people who don't have a pension who are living on Social Security.
I got 1%. So they're basically killing the Social Security, really, just by not, in an inflationary period, not giving us the cost of living. So very shortly.
I think many levels of government need to be revamped. I have to commend our county executive because he has been very proactive these last 3 years that I've been with Office for the Aging about Greg Edwards.
What's his name? Oh, Greg Edwards. When we
re-elected Greg Edwards.
We should give his name.
Yes, he did a terrific job at, you know, keeping expenses down at the county, and I think that puts us in better shape than many of our counterparts across the state and across the nation, because he, you know, asked all the directors and department heads to really examine what they were doing and look for cost savings, especially for local share money. And we have kept our local share at about 20% for our department. We cut it significantly a couple years ago. We are required to share some of the cost locally for the Office for the Aging program, so I could never get our department down to 0 local money. But we've gotten it down to a very low level.
No, you were slashed quite a lot of money, but you made that up with a grant, as I recall, right?
We weren't slashed. What we did was we got grants rather than use local money to do the programs that we're currently doing. And we saved about $100,000 a couple years ago by bringing some of the programs that we were subcontracting out and had our own people do them. And he did allow me to bring a nurse on board for that and one other aging services aide, and that has really made a difference.
And what does the nurse do?
Our nurse is our home care nurse. She goes out and evaluates anybody who's looking for home care. Our home care is a little different than the care that you get when you've been ill and been in the hospital.
The hospice is a different sort of a program.
And hospice is different too. Yeah, hospice is for people at the end of life. And we do have a small grant for end of life that sometimes we pair our services with hospice. But generally our services are people with long-term health issues that are stable medically, but maybe they still have problems. Say you had a stroke, you went to the hospital, you had rehabilitation, you had certified home care, you have reached the maximum that you're going to reach, but you still have some trouble walking. Maybe you aren't allowed to drive anymore. Maybe you need help with your bath. Those are the things that Office for the Aging can provide so that you don't have to go into a nursing home. Our whole mission at Office for the Aging is to keep people in the community living independently as possible and as healthy as possible. And so our services are geared toward that, getting you what you need to stay in your home. And that's where people want to be, and it's the most cost effective for the government. So we're hoping, I hear good things that's coming out of some of these bills, that there is going to be more money for Office for the Aging, especially in the health promotion programs.
Well, everything you do saves money.
Right. Well, we have a new grant that actually the CDC and the State Health Department chose us as a pilot project. We're one of 3 counties that are going to be rolling out a falls prevention program. And actually, this is going to roll out in Dunkirk and Fredonia in February. So be looking for Tai Chi. It's going to be offered at the Dunkirk Fredonia Seniors, or the Dunkirk Senior Center, and the Pomfret Fredonia Great Belt
That's
Seniors.
that slow motion stuff they do. Is that Tai Chi?
Yeah, it's balance and strength and control of your body. So Larissa Aldrich and Sam McLean went to Albany on a very snowy day last week. I'm glad we arranged for them to take the train because it was a little hairy weather. They went on the 4th and had the training on the 5th, and so they're getting their program together, and they're hoping to start advertising toward the end of the month and have the first classes start in February.
I used to take Amtrak quite a bit because I had to go from here to New York.
Yeah.
And you catch it in Buffalo and down you go, but it takes so long, it's always late, it's all messed up, and sometimes not so clean. Then I discovered the Megabus. Now the Megabus is an incredible bus. It's a big double-decker.
Megabus.
Yeah, a big double-decker. And they have an interesting fare structure. I may have told you this.
No, I don't think so.
But when you go online, you put in where you want to go. Mine would be Buffalo to New York. And they give you, you're next in line. The first ticket goes for $1. Then
Really?
And some people, some lucky people get $1. Then it goes up to 5, 10, and so forth. I went in, I got it the last time for, I think it was 35, but by the time I got to actually pumping it in, it was up to 50.
Oh, gee.
And so, all right, I now have 2 tickets. I took it. It was a very clean, neat bus, air-conditioned beautifully, brand new. They stop in Albany and give us in a lunch place, I mean, one of those fast food giant smalls where we go to anywhere you want, Wendy's, Burger King, whatever. And you get a half hour, 45 minutes, then they run on down, and they're 8 hours, zip through, drop you at Penn Station, and away you go. All right, so
Sounds like a good deal.
Well,
I'll have to check it out.
Well, you pick it up at the airport in Buffalo, at the regular bus stop.
Not at the bus station downtown?
No,
Okay.
right at the airport. Just swing in on the thruway and whip. There's an airport drop there for the buses, and you don't even have to go in. And so they zapped through. It was a wonderful trip, and I could actually do puzzles. You can't do crossword puzzles very easily on the train because you're going like this. So this is smooth as could be, like so. And all right, so here's the nitty gritty of it. I went in and I finally got tickets for we're going down in March. Tickets for 2 round trip from Buffalo to Penn Station back, and I hit it at the $53 per head rate. So it's $106. We got 2 round trip tickets.
Pretty good deal.
Pretty good deal, Megabus. It's online, it's easy to catch. And
I haven't taken the bus in a long time, but I have taken the train. It has gotten a lot nicer.
they've improved the Amtrak from what it was a couple of years ago, I know that. But I just for fun, I had a ticket going, I had a ride coming back last year. I got the ticket one way, $50 for 2 of us, all right? So I said, yeah, see the game is they don't tell you when it goes on for sale. So you got to guess.
Oh.
You don't know when you're going to get the $1 ticket because that goes right away. So just for fun, I couldn't get the round trip ticket anyway. I said, I wonder if it's online now. Sure it was. I punched it. I got the $1. I happened to hit it just as it went on, and I got the $1. And I laughed, and then I thought, gee, well, I'm crazy. I should take it, even though I don't need it, and give it to somebody. But by that time, it was up to 30. Marianne Spanos, who is our guest today, listening to my silly tales about riding the Megabus versus Amtrak. One time Amtrak was 18 hours late.
18 at what?
18 hours late.
Oh, wow.
Well, remember that terrible...
Not worth it to take it. You could have walked there by then.
Yeah, just about. You remember that terrible snowstorm we had up here about 3-4 years ago? Buffalo was totally blanketed. In October. It was in October.
The October storm.
Well, that's the one. We crawled through there. And the trouble with Amtrak is when you're taking a distance trip, they don't own the rail, see, the cattle cars. So if a cattle car comes through, we have to pull over and stop. Give them the rail. Well,
since you were talking about weather, we really should talk
let's
to
talk
people
about rubber.
about
Don't
heat.
shovel snow, whatever the hell you do. Geez, we've got people dropping down, seniors dropping over all over the place from shoveling
Well,
snow.
if you have a heart condition, you shouldn't be shoveling snow.
Right, right.
You know, you should try to